Welcome to the vlog and thanks for watching today if this is your first video. So I've been riding my new bike, my Transonic, the last couple days, and just wanted to make a couple notes on the differences between my old commuter and this one. So my other commuter is a Felt F75, and it's a cyclocross bike which I put road bike tires on. And this one is pretty much a race bike. I mean, it's got an aero frame, it's really stiff, put some nice tires on it. So obviously it's going to be a lot faster, but other than the speed, you know, what are the differences? Well, so on this bike I have to use a bag since I don't have the capability to put on a rack. So the bag for me, when I don't have a laptop, is okay. It's not so bad. But it's when I have the laptop, my lunch, and my clothes, where all that weight together just kind of gives me back pain. So this week I don't have a laptop. So that's pretty much the biggest difference. So with that comes improved handling. So the bike, when it has a bike rack on it, is pretty unstable. It's really heavy. If you're off your bike and kind of walking it around, it can be a little bit clumsy. And then I also noticed that I'd have problems with there would be little clips down here that you would clip the panniers on to the rack, and if you didn't clip those on right, or they would kind of bang around. So that got kind of annoying. And I have found that this bike is much more comfortable. So my other bike is aluminum, and it's a really nice bike. I mean, it is pretty light for being aluminum. This one's about 18 pounds with kind of all the stuff I've added onto it. But the carbon and the carbon seat post, I think, really dampens the ride. So it's much smoother over just all types of terrain. So that's really nice, and where that's going to be really noticeable is when you do the longer miles. Having that extra bit of comfort just kind of takes away some of the fatigue. So with switching the two bikes, one thing that I didn't think would be as big of a deal was actually the positioning. So your position on a specific bike is very important, but I guess when you're just riding one bike all the time, there's certain muscles develop differently, right? So I measured my other bike and I tried to match the position on it as best I could, and I got pretty close. I mean, maybe a couple millimeters different here or there. Some of the equipment is different. So my crank here, these are 172.5s instead of 175 millimeters. So there are differences there, but I try to compensate with the seat post. But I found on this bike, just as I'm warming up, that I'm getting I'm getting like maybe muscle tightness or maybe some soreness in some of the areas that are, you know, are maybe weaker now on this bike. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You never really show me. And because this bike is so much lighter, stopping and starting at lights, I think, is much more improved. So as my other bike, I would try to time the lights a little bit better, so this way I'm not starting and stopping and kind of losing all that momentum. Well, on this bike, you know, because I want to go faster, thinking it's a race bike, I'll end up kind of zooming light to light and not really timing them as well. So I found that I've been braking a little bit more, or maybe a little bit harder than I would have if I had had my heavier bike. But at the same time, even though I'm starting and stopping, picking up speed is much faster. So on this bike, maybe 2, 3, 4 pedal strokes and I'm back at my, my regular pace. But on my actual commuter bike, it would probably be 10, 11, 12, just because it's so much heavier. So like I said, this bike's about 18, maybe 19 pounds with all the little accessories and stuff on it. Maybe the backpack makes it 20. And when I have my other commuter bike, it's 28 pounds, and that's without the gear. So there is about a 10-pound difference just in the bike weight. So it doesn't seem like a lot, especially when maybe a person's weight can, adding 10 pounds may not be a whole lot. But when you add 10 pounds to your bike, so basically this bike basically lost a third of its weight compared to my commuter. And it actually did make a much larger difference than I kind of expected as far as the comfort improving with a lighter bike. But also it is nice just having the little extra pickup speed once you come to that stop. It's a lot easier to get your momentum back going. So the one thing that did stay the same on my bike is the pedals. So these are Crank Brothers mountain bike pedals. Even though this is a road bike, I actually find that for commuting, mountain bike shoes and pedals are the best. So from where I lock up my bike, it's actually quite a bit of a walk inside my building to the restroom where I kind of get cleaned up and changed. So if I was wearing like road shoes, for example, it would basically just chew up the bottom of the shoe and I'd have to go through them all the time. But mountain bike shoes, they're meant to be, walking around. They can take the abuse. And I've had a lot of luck with these shoes. I mean, there's scuffs and scratches, but I basically wear these shoes every single day to the wear and tear, and it's been about a year and they've been able to hold up really well as far as I'm concerned. So for commuting, I'm sticking with mountain bike shoes. That's gonna do it for me, because I'm just about home. Hope you enjoy the ride.